Welcome back to DM Niesa's Players D&D Vault in Obsidian. Today I'm going to show you how the campaign crash pages and notes work as a player so that you can get the best use out of what we have designed here. So first off, there's a couple of things to see. So on this wonderful homepage, right off the side, we have campaigns. We have buttons for new NPC, new location. We'll get to that. You also have a section for your campaign where you can see all of the characters, all of the players, passive ACs, passive perception, any quick notes that somebody has thrown in. You can see somebody did. Your journal entry. This pulls from all of the character sheets for combined magic items and combined known languages so that you can always reference that no matter what else you have open on the screen. From your homepage, you can see all of the campaigns currently running within the Obsidian system right now. And for the sake of looking at everything, we are going to look at Drac 2 today. So it's going to load up. To start with, we have this wonderful image. So to start with, we have the name of the campaign, a bunch of information, and we'll work our way down the page. So these are zoom maps. They are your best friend. And zoom in, zoom out nice and clear. These are easy to code and set up because you don't actually go into the coding. So this one is already calibrated on distance. All you have to do is right click, measure, calibrate scale. You can put in your scale. You can decide what travel pace you're going because then you can start measuring. And right now the party, measure, clear measurement. They went from Toadsfield to Shaftburg, and you can see, stop measuring, at a normal pace that will take 50 hours total. It's 151 miles. So at 8 hours a day, that's how long it's going to take you to get there. Measure, clear measurement. It nice and stayed up there for you. You can add markers, such as the party pin. Add marker here. So there's the party pin marker now. So now I can keep track of where my party is on that map. I can see top notes that need to be known, such as when the campaign is taking place in that world. I can go to a canvas page, hovering over any link to open it, and there is Obsidian Canvas so that we can see any pictures that my characters have ever put up. You can access the template of the journal note if you need to do any changes, but you also have the main journal piece there. Now, the other thing that this wonderful map does is change your bases. Oh, I see we got a slight hiccup in my base there. Wonderful things like that can happen. As I think I must not have changed my map ID. So, in order to fix that, for example, this is going to help you understand this. I can right click, image layers. Oh, there it is. Drakenheim World is the one I wanted to be on. I can image layers. I can go to Emberwood and see the Emberwood Village one. Now, my binding, right now my party pin, you can see, is transferring over on all of them, even though it's only actually relevant at the moment to the world. And I'm just using my scroll wheel to scroll in and out. Whee! And that is because the pin was not locked in place. So you can change and lock your marker layers. Pings at the moment is unbound. So bind layer to base, you can see that pings is not currently bound. If I want pings, which is your party pin, to be restricted right now, I can choose to bind it to Drakenheim World map. or return it to none in the future if I need to change that. So while they're traveling through the world, that's what I want it pinned to, not visible on any of the other pages. And I can add party notes and things like that. But this is the ping page. So this would allow me, if there were other pings within the area, other links within the area, to show up the distance. So for example, if I had a location pin, I could put that in. And I can just right click, add a marker, default open editor, and enter whatever I want. I can put a location town, change its icon to what I want it to be. So normally it would be location or journal note when we get down to the calendar section. Make sure that you set what layer you want it to be tied to, and then it'll only show up on that layer when you have a pin. Then we have another tab section. I'm sure if you've seen my player character sheet, you've seen how glitchy editing tabs can be. The wonderful thing is on your campaign page, you don't. It just looks nice and pretty. So you have here right off the bat cards to each of the player characters. So this links to their page directly. I can just boom. Once again, see that code. And there's your character sheet. It pulls up quick information on race, gender, level, classes. See, a whole bunch of them didn't quite catch that. This also pulls up all your magic items and all your languages, so you can see it from here. The NPC section pulls up if we create any NPCs, which we will. Journals puts up all your journal notes, which we'll get to as well. And if you are playing by XP and not milestone, this is a wonderful tracker, so you know what level you should be doing or how close you guys are getting to your next level up. There is also a section here for a party inventory, as you can see. Party gold, any tracking that you need to do for party, just write it in. And if you are playing with food and water, there is a party tracker here. There is also one of these on your character sheets, but this one is designed for if you are doing it as a group. There is a quick note section, including information on session 0 notes that you may want to have had. This is the player's version, not my Dungeon Master version, so I have no session notes in here for session 0. I have also put another version of an iframe in here to this wonderful website that already links so much information about the world of Drakkenheim, where I can just click and it takes me to information. Fantastic website the World Anvil did on it. I put in columns of information with extra pictures for them in this case, and then here's the calendar. So this calendar is the same maps as the upper, and so if I were making notes, I could just add marker and put one in. So for example, what is the last journal note on here? 260322. So they're just, so 260322, we're going to scroll down here, and I'm going to right click here, add marker, default open tab, 2603 20260322. There we go. So then I get to choose things like a journal note. And this one is on spring, so the layer I have chosen is spring, and I can save, and there's my journal note. So I can hover over it and we can see exactly what the notes were in that day's episode. We can also fill in a timeline if we wanted to, which is quite simple. Date, title, content. You can just copy and paste those 3 lines and fill it in as needed, title, and the content that you want to wish, and carry on as you wish. And then there is a service requests area here. So if you are a player who wants something from me, your DM, leave me notes there. I will catch it, and that reminds me to put them into the system. So now let's look at how your notes function. First off, we should recognize when locations and NPCs want to function. So let's try a location to start with. So without giving any spoilers to my wonderful players here, we are going to add a new location of Toadsfeld. So I'm clicking the button, and we want Toadsfeld. How about I spell it right? Submit. Now I want to attach that pin right here. So I'm going to add a marker here. Default marker, Toadsfeld. Icon is a location, and I want that tied to the world image. So now it's right there. I'm going to pin that and bring it open so that I can access that. And you can see on this page, I've done a few things. This locations page allows you to enter a lot of information. First off, this is another one of these map systems. So I can always inception this, insert and insert and insert and insert and insert. Toadsfield is a small city in the region of Drakkenheim area. The terrain is normal. Well, it's a little marshy right next to the Elvishmire there. I can put in government types, rulers, populations, races that are staying there, what temples and religions. And this will automatically pull up a list of characters that live here and places that I have made be here as well. Organizations that make their homes here. So if any of those begin to say Toadsfeld, they will automatically show up. And I can put in all kinds of information. So I am seeing that Toadsfeld is in the Marshlands province. It has a population of 38,000. Its ruler is Duke Ludwig von Fritz. It exports a lot of coal mine. And I'm just going to pull its wiki here with a nice quick copy C or Control C, Control V, copy paste, and put that in its overview so that now that can always be double checked and spotted for further information if needed. But that is simply how to add a location and get all the extra intel that you want for that location. Next, let's add an NPC. So from journals, you can see here, ooh, you can't because they haven't been filling it in. Shocker. All right, we are going to add the NPC. Ooh, didn't want to click that. Aaron. New NPC. We just click new NPC. Aaron Marlowe. Submit. Nothing happened, except it actually did. So now in 3 Toolkit NPCs, you will see Aaron Marlowe here. Now you can sort these if you want to. Honestly, you don't have to. It's kind of an extra thing. Here's your Aaron Marlowe page. Now, just like in character creation, I can go into edit this source block and I can put an image in, and I can put that image into the source mode header as well. And I can fill in information. So his home is Emberwood. Group, he's not really a part of one. He's a male, he's a human, 30. He's healthy right now. Pretty neutral. He's a merchant. And campaign code. This is the important one. So this is something that this is going to be looking for. So the campaign code for this campaign is DRAC2. Now I can add all the extra information I want down here. Over here, it will automatically pull every time he shows up. Oh, look, his last name actually has an E at the end. So when that happens, close, reopen. The code just needed a reboot. So it's automatically pulling already a journal entry where we see Aaron Marlowe. We can create him a stat block if we ever need to. His description, full information if we need to fill it in, and even an inventory section on him. And that inventory section is actually pulling from down here. So when you edit this, it'll show up there. That way everything you need is at one quick reach for that person. So I'm going to find an image of him, copy, and I'm just going to paste it. So we're going to get rid of that image placeholder code, paste this, Control C, source mode, and I'm going to put it in the image as well. One time into the source, that's it, and it's done. There's Aaron Marlowe, and I'm going to shrink his page. Now I know he also is on, so I'm putting in 2 campaign codes. So there's Aaron Marlowe. Purpose behind that is now when I go back to the Drakkenheim page under 2-player DRAC2, I can go to this NPCs tab, and there he is. And the point of putting it in the source mode with that text was so that this shows up in the card. So now we can see he's a human male, Aaron, location in Emberwood. Well, he's not there yet. Currently he is with this party pin, which is movable. So I know exactly where they are on the road. They were actually on this side when they camped. So now we know how to put a location, how to move our party pin, how to do an NPC. Let's take a look at the actual journal entries. So for this, we are going to click, wait for that pop-up. Now I always enter dates. I usually enter a campaign code first as well. Drac tester for this one. Submit. And when we go to journals, this will now show up here after a hot second. There it is. So I can go to that campaign page. Now what I often do is I will open it in a new tab so that I can move that campaign page or that notes page and have my character sheet over here and the notes over here or down below. Whatever works better for you, you can move it around. So for the sake of looking at the page, we're just going to bring it up here. And this is the notes page. It is tied directly to the campaign page so that you can go back to it nice and easy. You can see who all the players are. You can link directly to their character sheets and see their character sheets. You can see who made it and who hasn't yet. So the characters attending today were Zephyr and Roxanne and Dill. But let's say the characters absent today was Maldrick. And we saw Aaron Marlowe today. And there by Toadsfeld. You can also list what quest you're currently working on, any loot you gained today. You can see the most recent notes made by the players, most recently edited notes, so that you can check back and see what happened last week. You can also see the most recently dealt with NPCs. So if you need to quickly click those and change those up, fantastic, go for it. Now this is another one of those interactive maps. This one is directly tied to your campaign page. It is the same map. So when I go to image layers, whoop, it's got to think for a second. It will let me, should let me. Was doing it for me earlier. Does it for me normally. Oops. What am I doing? Link directly through. So image layers base, and it's being funky. Edit view. See, it's showing them. They exist. You can go to the different pages when it wants to cooperate. There they are. World. And look, even the same pins show up. So sometimes you just have to give things a second. But even the same pins show up. And if I move this to Schaffberg, and I go back to our campaign page, and I go look at Schaffberg, that pin's moved now too, because it is the same map. I move it back to where they actually camped last. It's back where they actually camped last. So your notes are directly tied. Additionally, now that I have made this note, when I go to journals, we can see who was absent, who was here, NPCs that we saw. When I go to Aaron's page, we can see this Drac Tester page. When I go back to the world and I go to Toad's Field, well, that one's not reading as nice. So that might be something that needs to be checked, but everything will now auto connect. And that is the wonder of the way that your notes are set up. You've got access to all your extra crafting information. That is the joy of the campaign setup. I hope you like it. I hope it works great for you. Have a great day.